The biggest social reform movement in the early 1800s was the temperance movement. This movement was against the consumption and distribution of alcoholic beverages. Before this movement, alcohol was being sold all around the world at restaurants, taverns, and local bars. This affected more than restaurants. It had a huge negative impact on many farmers' income due to the large distribution of grains they sold to distilleries. Americans who were for this movement viewed people who consumed alcohol as immoral. Therefore, many flyers and pamphlets were constructed to warn the locals about the dangers of alcohol. Some pamphlets even stated, "The very first drink is a long step toward hell." The goal of this movement was to educate people on the dangers of consuming alcohol and to limit the intake, but it got so much publicity that people wanted others to abstain from it altogether. Alcoholism isn't gained by everyone who drinks alcohol. In fact, there are many causes of alcoholism, such as culture, poverty, psychological and physical factors, advertising, role models, and much more. In some parts of the country, people were sentenced to time in jail or received fines for either selling or drinking alcohol. Police tried to enforce this law, but the lack of staff made this next to impossible. The Irish and German immigrants were not in favor of this movement because consuming alcohol is a big part of their culture, unlike Americans. Prohibition laws were set in place for 13 states in the 1840s and 1850s, but this wouldn't last long. In the 1870s, most states revoked that law because they saw this as unconstitutional with the help of the 21st Amendment. They believed that the government got in the way of making and selling liquor, therefore, the temperance movement came to an end.